Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we've already talked about the Nintendo Switch 2 on Clownfish Gaming, but we're going to talk about the backlash to the Nintendo Switch 2 price reveal here on the main channel because it gets a little spicy. People are really not happy with the prices.
No, our kids are even like, did you hear about the prices? And I was like, oh my gosh, that's insane.
Oh, yeah. There's a whole discussion now. For those of you who don't know, who didn't watch the other video or who just aren't aware, there is a Nintendo Switch 2. It's confirmed. It's coming. They had a reveal for it yesterday. And the prices are painful, right? We're talking $80 for a digital game. We're talking upcharges to upgrade your Switch games to Switch 2 games. Just a lot of nickel and diming.
$450 for the Switch 2 itself.
Switch, yeah, the Switch 2 itself, which you're trying to say, oh, it's a portable system. I'm like, that's pretty steep for portable. I mean, come on, it is what it is, a console. I mean, mine is docked most of the time, my Switch 1. And then that kicked off a whole discussion about the cost of games and, have games kept up with inflation, because back in the 90s, we actually had some very expensive cartridges that were, $80, $90, $100. In some cases, Fantasy Star 4 was $100. But that's because back then RAM was so expensive and they were physical cartridges. And now they're talking, that was another controversy, that you're going to get your game card, you're going to get your quote unquote cartridge, and you're going to plug it into your machine, and the game itself is not on that cartridge. It basically unlocks a digital download, and that's pissing people off.
So you can't resell them.
Well, I don't know. I'm not.
If it's a digital, I can't think that you'd be able to.
Well, if you have the key, the quote unquote key, they're calling it like a cartridge key. I'm assuming.
Okay, then maybe you can resell them. I know that these gaming companies have been trying very hard to make it that everything goes digital, so you can't resell your stuff. Yeah,
and they can basically yank it from the store at any point in time. They can make changes to the game at any point in time. You never own your games. So anyway, we're going to talk about some of the backlash here. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, you'll get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
And again, check out Clownfish Gaming. I'm going to start posting more gaming news over there. We're going to do some more gameplay over there. That channel was actually first. People are surprised we have a gaming channel. I'm like, no, that was actually.
And actually, before that, there was another channel, wasn't there? And then, before we even did Clownfish.
Yeah, we did.
So we were doing stuff with comics and things.
Comic stuff.
Way back. There's even a video which is now no longer on the internet where Kneon was dressed as an old woman, but that was a whole other story.
Oh no. Don't tell them that. Anyway,
it's no longer there, so
it's no longer there. No. So this is let's see here. This is going from IGN. Why would you make people pay for that? Nintendo's decision to charge for Switch 2 tutorial game Welcome Tour sparks backlash. So they're charging people for the Welcome Tour game.
That's insane.
We're going to talk about that, and then we're going to talk about just the prices in general being just really high, and
people are not happy.
So they said amid the furor around the $450 price of the Switch 2 and Mario Kart World's $80 price tag, there's shock at Nintendo's decision to charge for the console's tutorial game, Welcome Tour.
Oh my gosh, this is like if Disney was making games. Like, Disney was making game system. It's like, but if you want to actually play it, you have to pay this much money. And if you want to actually, have your controller work, you got to pay this much money, kind of situation.
Yeah. Nintendo revealed Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour during its Nintendo Direct. This game sent to launch alongside the Switch 2 in June offers a guided tour of the console itself. Well, that should be free.
Right? Yeah, usually that's a tutorial for your system comes as a free game.
Yeah, the Switch 2 Welcome Tour is described as a virtual exhibition of the new hardware per Nintendo. Through tech demos, mini games, and other interactions, players will get to know the new system inside and out in ways they may have never known about otherwise. Okay, fine. Nintendo Direct showed footage of a small player avatar exploring a supersized Switch 2, reading about the different features and facts of the consoles. Includes some mini games such as Speed Golf, Dodge the Spike Balls, and a Maracas physics demo. Again, this would have been included as your free game, your demo game, but they're charging you for it.
And how much are they charging?
Let's see. They said in Japan it is 990 yen, which is about $6 or $7. Still, fans are bemoaning the fact that it costs anything.
It should. It's already expensive.
No, you spent $450 on the machine. You can give them a tech demo. This is literally a tech demo of your console. Why would you make people pay for it? Audibly laughed when they called this a paid title. Hope nobody buys this bullshit. This is over on Reddit. When they were showing it, I was like, nice, a neat little thing to get you familiar with the system. Yeah, that'd be fine. Just load on all the systems and there's your instruction manual, right? As soon as they said paid, I literally laughed out loud and said, why would somebody pay for that?
Mm-hmm.
That's ridiculous. PS5 came with a free game just to showcase the capabilities of the DualSense controller. Yeah.
A lot of gaming systems come with at least one free game, so you can at least start playing when you get it.
It was a lot more common back in the day to pack a game with the console. Then they kind of dropped that after the 16-bit era. But even the PlayStation 1 came with a tech demo. It had like a T-Rex on it. And you know what I'm saying? So like, this is bullshit. This is just.
I know a lot of systems though now still do it. Like you can buy systems with games on it. Yeah, you can, because I know like when we got stuff for the kids before that they had a game with it.
Well, they're gonna have two versions of the console. They're gonna have the standard version with no game, and then if you get it with Mario Kart, it's an extra $50.
Oh, so you save like what, $30?
Yeah, like I think that's probably why they're pricing it so high to sell the higher price console or whatever. But so anyway, now they're calling for a boycott because of the prices. And they said, unveiled during a mammoth live stream on Wednesday, which quickly racked up over 5 million views on YouTube. This come from the standard. Switch 2 is going to cost, well, it's £396 in the UK. That's $400, $450 US. A 41% jump over the original Switch's launch price.
And the original Switch only launched like in 2017. So we're not talking like a massive amount of time ago.
No, I mean, it was a long time between generations. I mean, usually it's like every 5 years, but it's getting to the point now with games where, it doesn't make sense to upgrade the hardware every 5 years because we don't have these like massive leaps in technology like we did back in my day. I mean, there's a huge leap from the Atari to the NES to the Super NES, to the PlayStation 1, to the PlayStation 2, right? You can see these huge leaps in technology. Now we're just like, okay, slightly better graphics. And
yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Not worth the amount of money they're upcharging. No.
So they said that people, because of the prices, and again, we're talking $80 for digital games, $90 in some cases for physical games, and then the games aren't actually on the cartridges.
Well, then there's the whole cartridge situation too, where you said if you want to play like one of your old games for the new system, you have to buy.
Yeah, apparently there's an upgrade charge. So like I think I want to say just off the top of my head, I think it's $30 or something like that. So if you've got a Switch 1 version of a game and they've got like a new plus version of, Breath of the Wild, you can pay to upgrade it or something. And it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Well, I guess in some ways you can be like, well, at least you're not paying $80 for another game, but it's the same game you already had. With a little bit of big tweaks.
Might be in 4K or something.
But it's like you're not buying a whole new game. They're just giving the cost of a game. You can get games for $30 easy. You're getting the cost of a game for something you already own just to have it tweaked a bit.
Yeah, well, they do that though, like with Voodoo or Fandango, or the hell they
call it. Not $30.
No, but you buy a digital movie, and if you want to upgrade, if you have it in 1080 and you want to upgrade to 4K, they're going to charge you for that. They're not just going to be nice and be like, "Oh yeah, we know you bought the 1080."
No, I understand that, but it's not $30.
No. Yeah, so they said that gamers are not pleased about the markups. Outrage is brewing on social media. Some fans are rallying behind a simple plan: boycott it. The rationale is that if enough people hold off, Nintendo will have no choice but to lower the price of something more reasonable. That's not going to happen. People are going to buy this.
I don't think so.
They're going to buy it. They're going to buy it.
They're going to buy it. And if nothing else, the scalpers are going to buy the shit out of it and make sure they get it first and put it all over the internet to get other people to buy it. They'll pay like $800, $900 for it on eBay.
Look at the PS5. It wasn't even that great. The PS5 wasn't even that great of a system at launch, and people were paying through the nose for it. They're gonna pay.
Well, I mean, because I was smart and I was able to find it.
You were, yeah,
and I was able to help my sister get one, and a couple other people who saw my tweet about it get them.
Target had them.
It was Target, yeah. The thing was, link was hidden. It was very at the bottom, so if you were refreshing the page, you wouldn't see it. I happened to scroll down, look for something else, and saw it, and I was able to get it. And then I was able to get, my sister got one, and I was able to get about 10 minutes of it on Twitter before it sold out. The people were able to use the link and get it, but.
They said, will it work? Supporters point to the 3DS as proof that pressure can pay off after sluggish sales at launch. After sluggish sales at launch, in 2011, blamed on its steep $250 price tag then. Yeah, a weak game lineup and concerns over the 3D effects, Nintendo slashed the price to $170 just months later. The discount turned out to be a massive catalyst for the flailing handheld. Sales surged by 268% in less than 3 weeks. Sales made them drop the 3DS price, at a user on Reddit. We can do it again. Vote with your wallets. Don't buy it for the sake of buying it.
Yeah, that's, but and because I know what's going to happen. What's going to happen is everybody's going to be so desperate to get one initially, they'll pay it, but they'll pay twice as much as the scalpers. So I don't know. We'll see how this goes. But for all the other systems, that's what keeps happening.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta be honest, and I talked about this in the video on Clownfish Gaming. This is one of those consoles where I'm like, I don't have to have this one at launch. There's nothing on it that I have to have. And all these games like Mario Kart 8, people still play Mario Kart 8. They're going to be playing Mario Kart World 10 years from now.
Games that you can upgrade, a lot of the ones that they have, people will still play on their old systems. I can wait for an upgrade when the price comes down. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the Donkey Kong game looks kind of, it looks okay. I mean, it looks like, it looks all right, but it's not this, there's nothing at launch that is like, I have got to have this game. It's not like the N64 where it's like, oh my God, Mario 64 is like just mind blowing. It's worth, at the time, people were like, wait, what? No, at the time, Mario 64 was mind blowing. It was incredible. And it still holds up. It was incredible at launch. There's nothing like that. There's nothing like I have to have. It's like, okay, another Mario Kart. Okay, a Donkey Kong game. Okay, some upgrades to some other. Yeah, there's nothing that I have to have. So
it's okay if we can wait until the price comes down. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're bringing this up too. They says, it's way too expensive. They said Nintendo drew scorn for charging for enhanced versions of older games optimized for Switch 2.
Yes.
Frustrated gamers also pointed out that a game demo designed to showcase the new console's features wasn't free, unlike Astro's Playroom, which came bundled with every PS5 at no cost. Yeah, it said early projections suggest this could be Nintendo's biggest console launch yet, though, with 8 million units expected to be snapped up on the first day. So,
a lot of them are going to be bought by scalpers, I'm telling you, and then they'll flood the market. Yeah,
so, I mean, we'll see. I think there's going to have to be a long tail on this one. Like a bunch of people will buy, but that grandma's going to buy this for the kids for Christmas because this is probably going to be the most requested Christmas thing this year.
I'm sure it's going to be if they're available because you remember having a PlayStation 5.
Right.
Like, and Nintendo's done this before too, where they've made a short supply of things, and then they were like, whoopsie doopsie, it was a chip shortage or whatever.
Artificial scarcity. That's something that they have done since the beginning.
So I would not be surprised that they don't do that as well. So good luck. People are so the opposite thing is you can not buy it and hope they lower the price. But what also could happen is that you don't buy it, they get bought up by scalpers or whatever, and then Nintendo's gonna be like, oh, there was a shortage come Christmas time, you can't get one. And it's going to be like, oh, well, as soon as we release, a bunch, people snap them up because we're going to create artificial demand or create the illusion of demand.
Yep.
And so they very easily could go that way too, and it wouldn't put it past them. They did it with Wii.
Yeah, they did. You got that by accident.
I know. I'll tell the story again. I've told it before, but it was still funny because I was going to Toys R Us to return something, and as Kneon was going to drop me off because he had our son in the back, and he was going to drop me off to go out to return. These people were like jumping out of moving vehicles and stuff. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? And I walk in and the guy standing there and he goes, hey, I got one Wii left. Do you want it? And I was like, okay. So I bought the last Wii. I just happened to walk in and they just gave me the last one. And I walk out with the Wii and I was hiding it. And he's like, wait, you found one? I'm like, yeah, they offered it to me when I walked in. So we got one for Squid King for Christmas that year. But
he was too young to play, so he was really little. So
he
could watched you play.
But he wanted us to play with him because it was too hard for him. But he loved it, and he's grown up with consoles. That kid has been gaming since he was. But they created artificial, scarcity, and they could do that instead of dropping the price like the 3DS, like they did, But that was how many years ago? They may just, do the opposite and be like, oh, look, there's a shortage like PlayStation did, and now the demand's through the roof. So every time we release, 1,000 consoles, they're snapped up at full price immediately. Yeah. So I don't know how this is going to play out. We'll have to wait and see. It's going to depend on how Nintendo handles it, I think.
Yeah, and they're going to handle it the best way they can to maximize profits.
Right. So I wouldn't be surprised if they don't try to, make it look like there's, scarcity.
Yep, for sure. All right, so we're going to wrap this one up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.